Hello and welcome to round one of the Aimpoint Winter League, which is a winter championship for the sport of practical mini rifle. Now, practical shooting is when the shooter has to move around the range, shooting targets different distances, all against the clock. And to start off round one, we have stage one, which is here. Stage one is 10 metal plates spread at a distance of only 10 meters away from the shooter, but the shooter must traverse across the range to shoot each target where some are hidden from behind barriers. All against the clock. Let's see how the first shooters get on stage one.
First up we have Matt Cox with his Smith and Wesson taking on the plates. Rather experienced shooter, isn't he, Matt?
Matt's a local from the local shooting club. He's shot here a few times. He should be able to nail this quite quickly.
Short sprint down to the left hand side. Now sim done. Next up, Richard Poole.
Richard's a member here. It's his first season shooting, so he'll be a bit more deliberate. But also be careful with his feet. It's very wet, that footpath, as you can see from the puddles, so be careful. If they do fall over, if they keep control of the gun, it's okay. If they are out of control, it'll be disqualification.
Now, what's the best thing to do? You can't exactly drop the gun, can you?
No, I mean, essentially, it's the same thing as when you're having a set of drinks in a pub with a tray of drinks. If you fall over, you keep the tray level. Same with a gun. Keep the point their range, you're safe.
Safety tips. Ollie Jackson up next. Going to the left side first.
Little swift with his gun to get around that barrier. As long as he keeps the gun pointed down range, it's perfectly safe. A couple of drops here, though.
This is a stage where you've got to pick your angle because you can't see all the plates just from one place.
This is definitely a speed stage. Fast you can do it.
Do those misses make much difference in this kind of short stage, just if your speed's good?
Very short stages like this, you need to get every single plate first hit. Time is of the essence. Longer stages, accuracy is more important, but not with a plate. It's 5 points, knock it down, that's it.
Steve done it now, showing us how it's done. Here's Aid Flannery.
Again, first year competing. Very deliberate. Don't think you've dropped a shot yet. Oh, there you go.
Curse of the commentator, John.
Yeah, I keep doing that, don't I? Now, he's run both directions there. I think that's sort of hurt his time, really. He should have maybe planned that slightly better to go one direction only.
Plan the shoot the plan. All goes out the window when that buzzer goes off.
Yeah, the beep goes off, all the plans at the window. Now, Kelvin's a very good shooter. Again, regular local range.
Yeah, one drop there. Planned that very well, hasn't he?
Stand by.
There's Big Andy Smith.
Now, Andy might struggle here. He has a bit of a knee problem. So I know he struggles on the stage. He's got to run around the place. But he should be, if he's confident with his footing, he should be fine.
Let's shoot down. Sprint over to the right hand side.
Yeah, he's being quite deliberate on that path. It is quite slippery. Winter League is Winter League, I'm afraid.
Dave Salmons, very good shooter. If he's nothing goes wrong with his gun anyway.
Yeah, he has some gun problems, as Dave. He's a senior shooter as well, so he's over 50 years old, so slightly different classification. So he may be a bit slower, but he's competing against people my age.
Yeah, a couple of drops.
Stand by.
There's Jim Staley, the winner of season 1 of the Hawk Optics British Mini Rifle Championship. And that's didn't go quite to plan.
He'll be kicking himself back. Another drop shot in the last one as well. I think you'll be disappointed with that.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Matt Keno Willem. Bit of a tongue twister, that name.
Again, someone else with gun problems. All through the season last year, he had gun problems, and it looks like it's continuing now. I do feel sorry for him. Obviously, in the competition, if you have a gun issue, tough luck. Carry on shooting, I'm afraid. Looks like he's a jam round in there.
So here are the results after stage 1. It was Kelvin Leeton taking a win. That was a very good run. Tom Ellaway second, Dave Hill. Where's Jim Starley? Down in 7th place. He's not going to be happy.
I thought he was disappointed with that, but Kelvin's run was very, very smooth. I think that was definitely a clear winning run.
Dave Salmons in the senior category at 11th, just outside the top 10. Anthony Vizard, he's an interesting one to keep an eye on. He's from the seniors as well.
Again, seniors, again, and really a new shooter as well. So you see Andy down there in 16th, also being quite deliberate with his footing. He's had a knee issue for a while. So
24 shooters involved in round one here. Laurie Boyle, Matt Keno, Willem, Andrew Old, and Magdalena.
well, you see Matt's time was ruined, obviously, with that gun jam, so that won't help him at all. Okay, this is stage 2. A bit more movement on this stage. What the shooters have to do here, they've got targets both sides of the range. They start in this position, they have to traverse down the stage, take this target here, and then go back up the stage, taking targets to the left, 2 more, and then finally 1 target down the corner, and they cannot go further than this foot marker here, and there's still 3 more targets here to shoot on that side of the range, all against the clock. Let's see how they get on.
This is one where stage planning is going to be key. Steve went up first. A good long shooter is Steve.
Yeah, Steve's history is more long distance shooting, but he's adapted well to practice.
Very chilly out there on the ranges today.
I do like these kind of stages. You know, they actually go up and down the ranges. It's good, A, to keep your muzzle disciplined, and also that's a good stage to shoot.
Nice and tidy by Steve. There's Kelvin, winner of stage 1.
He's quick on his feet, is Kelvin. Little whip it.
Tidy shooting there.
Yeah, good time that as well, I think.
One in contention at the end of the season. But up next is Andy Smith.
Normally got a good gun score, Andy. He's always making sure he gets his alphas out of it. A bit slower on his feet, but gets a good scores in terms of, obviously it's 2 points of 5 for alphas and 2 shots per target.
Dave Salmons.
Oop.
Oh, foot outside.
Now, that's okay. You can put a foot outside. What you can't do is take a shot with your foot outside. You must go back in where you fell out of it. So that's okay to falling over. But what you can't do is take a shot outside, or there'll be a 10-point penalty per shot taken.
I'll just mully your entire score, won't it?
Yeah, 1 bad foot fault can ruin a whole stage.
So Jim Staley. Expecting good things from him.
Yeah, see, Jim's actually shooting on the move there to try and shorten his time. It can hurt your accuracy, but obviously it's much faster.
It's tight grouping. Matt Keno Willem.
Let's hope his gun works. Well, better.
So far, so good.
I think he's happy just pulling a trigger, to be honest.
Yeah, unlike Jim, who's taking those shots stationary.
See, they're a bit low. He's obviously zeroed to a longer distance, so up front target a little bit lower.
Tom Alloway, decent showing in season 1 of the Hawk Optics British Minirifle Championship.
Not a great start there, though, with a light strike early on the stage. You won't be happy with that.
Plenty of alphas being thrown around on this stage.
Well, bear in mind the target's only 3 or 4 metres away. If we're getting loads of Charlies and Deltas, we're in trouble, really.
You know, this is primarily for new shooters, and we've got quite a few experienced shooters in the ranks as well, which are going to help the new guys along the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, Aid's a good example. It's only his 2nd competition he shot. The Winter League really is for new shooters, but obviously a bit of practice for the existing guys. But he's having a mare here. That's like a light strike and a jam. Yep, still there. That will murder it. That will murder his score, sadly. I see Ollie's holding the gun right up close. Generally speaking, very close hold hand there. It means you're quite quick manoeuvring the gun, but longer distance shots can get a bit more wayward because you're not holding the gun as well. But little tight course of fire like this, it's not a bad thing to do.
You finished the low show clear.
Warhead. Very careful with the muzzle there. You have to keep the muzzle pointed down range, but you can also sweep your own feet, which would get disqualification. I think you got pretty close there, but safe, but risky.
See, as a range officer there, you're not actually looking at anything to do with where he's shooting, you're just looking at how he's handling the gun.
Yeah, that's me right in his shoulder. I have to be within a metre of them the whole time. But I'm not looking at what they're shooting, their scores. I'm looking entirely on them, mainly the trigger finger where the muzzle's pointed. So Matt Cox example here, all we're looking for is his trigger is off the finger, which it is, until he engages the target. When he moves, he must keep his finger off the trigger, and the muzzle is pointed down range. That's all I'm wanting.
Here are the results for stage 2. Jim Staley taking a win away from Kelvin Leeton. Quite a difference there, 11%.
Yeah, I mean that was that moving. Jim was obviously engaging those targets while he was walking along. It does affect accuracy, but look at this time. It's 2 seconds faster. So I think Kelvin probably a higher gun score, but that speed makes a difference in that kind of stages.
Tony Poole to just outside of the top 10. 8th, Flannery all the way down in 20th.
Yeah, that gun problem, again, just murders you. But look at Matt. Matt jumped above it because his gun didn't have a problem. So it is one of those things where the gun working is quite important.
Oh, nice. Somebody got disqualified on that. So I think it was for sweeping.
It was, yes, that was sweeping. So he shot the competition but didn't score because there was a bit of a sweeping issue. Again, first competition, that's time to make the problems. Stage 3, got to move around for this stage. They start off with 2 targets up close. Then once they've got these last 2 targets, they've got to run down range. They've got 2 more under the barrier here. 2 more they can shoot on the move. And get all the way to the end. They've got 5 more targets hidden behind this barrier here. So here the trick's going to be speed.
Nice one for them, John. Getting the blood pumping, running down 100-metre range.
Yeah, they're known as run and gun stages, these ones. They're constant movement and constantly going down range shooting targets. So Steve loved these kind of courses so far, so I think he'll enjoy himself here.
I think the majority of shooters do like the run and gun stages. It's much more action-filled.
Well, we're quite blessed here. We have obviously 180-degree cone of fire with all the buns around the ranges. Lots of ranges don't have that. So yeah, it gives you the opportunity to make some different things in here. I'm not sure he needed a mag change there. I think he had enough rounds in there, but he's being careful.
It's one of those stages where you need to count your rounds and change mag on the move, or one of the most efficient.
Yeah, essentially speaking, when you're shooting a stage, you're counting the rounds you shot. Most of these magazines will have 25 or maybe up to 30 rounds in there. So if you have a stage where you need to shoot 40 rounds, you've got a mag change. And the question is, obviously, when do you do that, and in a time that takes the least amount of time for your score?
There's no issues so far on this stage.
Yeah, he's been right. I'd be happy with that. Good shoot today.
Yeah, Kelvin.
He'll be quick.
Got a good double tap.
Yeah, I mean, Kelvin's obviously, he's 47 years old, doesn't look it, but he's very, very quick on his feet. Sometimes his accuracy as of that. He's trying to move there. Which also affects accuracy, but speed is of the essence of this kind of stage, so he should do well. I'm here with Kelvin Leeton. End of the first day, a lot of rain. How'd you get on?
Yeah, reasonably well today, I think, John. Pretty happy with where I've shot today, so we'll see what the end scores are like.
How's it compared to the summer championship?
Wetter, shorter, but still, just as challenging with some of the stages set up. Very much just on one of your ranges, so yeah, it's been good today. Enjoyed it.
Well done. Happy shooting.
Andy Smith, I don't think he'll be too happy with this stage with his bad knee.
Yeah, I don't see Andy running down there too much is the answer, but you can see how wet it is on the left-hand side. They're on a plastic footpath, which is reasonably okay, but slippery foot conditions underfoot are part of the Winter League now. And you see how he's stopping and shooting. It's by far the most accurate way. You watch Hollywood, watch people run along shooting from the hip. All you're going to do is miss. So there's lots more aiming required in real life.
Problem with physics, isn't it? Here's Dave Salmons.
Dave's quite short. Should be able to get underneath that barrier quite happily. You see, he's keeping the muzzle pointed down range. He's running, and I have to stand usually quite close behind him. All I'm looking at is the trigger finger and the muzzle. Let's see how Jim does. Jim should be quick.
So it's one apiece so far between Kelvin and Jim.
Again, you see he's just drifting his movement across a little bit slower each time. I think Kelvin was quicker. That's my prediction. So I'm going to be completely wrong in 10 seconds. I'm here with Jim Staley. End of a long day, Jim. How about the rain? How'd it get on?
Luckily I didn't get too wet out there. I think I did okay, but we'll see how everyone else did.
Been a good day generally, though?
Yeah, generally. Breaking in the new gun, and it seems to have worked well.
Of course, yeah, using your land tack. How's it getting on?
No issues today, so that's all I can hope for.
Good, well done. Thanks for shooting. See you soon.
Yeah, and Jim winning the land tack after winning the season 1 of the Hawk Optics British Minirifle Championship, taking his gun out for a test drive, shall we say, but he takes the win on stage 3, followed by Tom Ellaway. With Kelvin Leeson looked quick.
Yeah, Jim just likes to prove me wrong. That's what he's about. So yeah, but it's quite close up there, 188%, so less than a second in it.
And who else? We've got Laurie Boyle in the top 20. Nice to see him.
He'll be happy with that. Yes, Laurie's in the super senior class, so over 60. So he'll be happy with that as a process. And then Matt, again, Kino Island, still struggling with gun, I think, as Jans. That seemed to go okay that time, but he's struggling a bit than this one, I think.
Yeah, we might as well give Magdalena a shout out as well. She's our only lady shooter in the Winter League.
Yes, we need more lady shooters really, but Stage 4, last one of the day. Distance this time. Standing, balancing on this stake here. They got to shoot those 4 targets 90 metres away.
Tony Vizard up first. First time I've seen him in the Winter League. Let's see how he gets on. It's not an easy one, this, is it, John?
Well, they complained about this afterwards. It's a full-size target, so it's only 2 feet high. It's only 90 metres away. They should be scoring all of them. The balancing on the board slows you down and makes you aim, but it shouldn't be that hard. I'm expecting the scores to be reasonably high. I'm here with Tony. Last stage, last done. How'd you get on?
Very well, I thought. Yeah, for an old man, not bad at all. For first competition, yeah.
It's your first competition, that's right?
It's first competition, John. Yeah.
And how do you think? How do you think it's gone?
I think it's gone okay. Just a couple of little mistakes somewhere, and I realise now that you've got to be a bit sharper with your movement and thought about it. There's a lot of it's thought required for this sort of thing, which is good.
First one's always nerve-wracking, but well done. All right.
Thank you very much. Mark Liddy tackling the stage 4 now.
Matt quite likes the longer stages in terms of distance-wise, so I think you should shoot this pretty well.
You can see a couple of alphas there. I think there's a Charlie and a Delta.
Yeah, you're guessing. I can't see from there.
You're an old man.
I'm here with Matt Liddy. Matt, first the Winter League, bit different to the Hawk Championship. How'd you get on?
Yeah, not too bad. I got on a bit better with the longer range stuff than I did during the summer, due to a few little tweaks, and managed not to break my neck in the mud. So yeah, happy day all round.
How'd you cope with the rain?
Rain was all right. We managed to stay off most of the stages while we were shooting, but yeah, the ground was a little interesting.
Well shooting. Well done for that. See you next round.
There's James Tooley.
Again, James is a reasonably new shooter as well. I think this is the first time he shot more than 50 metres, I think, with this 2-2. You can't just randomly call out alphas now. There's no way you can see from this angle what they are.
It doesn't look like he's hitting anything at the moment.
I'm here with James. I believe that was your first competition here, James. Is that right?
Yeah, first competition here. Real good time, really good facility. Really enjoyed myself.
Any particular stage you enjoyed the most?
Yes, the stage where you had the permanent barrier on your right, which obviously made you think about your movement and your safety angles as well. It was real good fun, real good challenging little course.
Well done, good shooting.
Here's Kelvin. He needs to take this this stage to have a chance at winning round one.
Again, Kelvin's hit and miss on longer stages. Sometimes I've seen him perform extremely well, and sometimes I've seen not so good. So I think he's what depends what zone he feels in. He seemed pretty happy earlier on, though.
It'd be interesting to see where Steve Durrant ends up. Could be between him and Jim, I think.
Yeah, Steve is obviously more experienced long distance. He normally scores very well longer distance shoots.
Here is Jim.
Now again, Jim does like longer distance. He does also shoot gallery rifle, which is more suitable for longer distance shooting. So
Alpha and a Charlie there.
now you're making it up. You can't.
You can
see.
really not see that.
No, you're making it up. You just can't just call out random outletting. Yeah, I mean, I think the shooter's got a bit unlucky. I was in the rain the whole day, but sometimes it was chucking it down. And the Winter League is designed to you deal with that as the answer.
Did he purposely not wear gloves because the RO can't see your trigger finger?
No, not really. Lots of people like to have so they can feel the trigger under their finger, so even like a fingerless glove. But because the stages are quite short, you wear gloves, take them off for the shoot, basically. I'm here with the very wet Tony Porter. How's your day?
Wet, good fun. Really good set of course of fire again. Yeah, it's been a good day.
How's it cope shooting the rain compared to all summer we shot in nice sunshine? Now it's all rainy.
Yeah, a bit of a change. It's you get the wobble on. Definitely with the cold, you've got to think about it and just slow it down a little bit.
Do you have a stage you preferred of all four?
Probably the first one with the steels. It went okay. A few mess up on the other ones, so yeah, we'll see how we go.
Oh, well done. Good shooting.
The results for stage 4. Tom Holloway taking a win ahead of Kelvin Leighton and then Jim Staley. And I think that gives Jim Staley round 1 win, doesn't it?
Yeah, still one more to go, but let Steve Durrant up in 4th. That's the highest he's scored all day so far, so longer distance stuff he is better at. Matt Lilly did well, though. He seemed to enjoy that one.
And here are the overall results for round 1. Jim Staley taking a win ahead of Kelvin Leighton. Very close, though. Oh, it's 1 and a bit % between it.
That's very close. We look at the top 3. I mean, the difference between Kelvin and Tom, that's barely a point. It is actually a point. Yeah, looking at it, 1 point between them the whole stage. Of course, of fire, it's very good.
And then Andy Smith just outside the top 10. That's not too bad, considering his ailments, shall we say.
Anthony Vizard, first of a competition, comes in 19th. You should be happy with that. And then Bram also the only lady up, coming at 17th. So that's the end of the day for round 1 of the Aim Point Winter League. Very close at the top. Kelvin, Tom and Jim all very close together. But it's only round 1, 6 rounds in the championship. So we've started the winter now. Let's see how we get on when the series goes on. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.